forum.
Great. Hi, folks. So for those privacy experts that are in this room, close your eyes, relax. This isn't for you, because you know this already, or maybe you don't. So let's follow along. What I'm presenting here is how to read a privacy policy in less than 60 seconds, but I have 10 minutes to do it. So you right away understand that a lawyer even wrote that title. All right, even if it was written by a lawyer. So let's jump in. I don't know, we always tell people read privacy policies. That's like our advice. And I think people probably look at us and say, why? Because I'm going to negotiate it. I'm clicking to download an app. I'm either like, tell me it's dangerous, or that there's going to be a warning in there that says like it's poisonous or something, or it'll make me fat or nauseous or something. But it never says that. And nothing terrible has really ever happened. Like, I want to know if it's a dangerous app, but they probably don't say to me, hey, we're criminals here and like we'll commit identity theft. So, they want to know that. But we tell them read the privacy policy and we parrot it to them. And you got to wonder why any rational person would. Is there anything in that policy that would make you say, this is very different than the other apps or programs that I'm considering because of the clause they have here about third parties, so I'm not going to do it, right? They got to think we're crazy. So what would we really tell our friends if we were being honest lawyers and say, okay, read this thing. You don't have a lot of time. We know you're busy. This is not the security check. We'll tell you how to try to, not download a bad thing. Here's how you can actually quickly look at the policy. Are there 2 or 3 things I might zone in on and say, aha, I have some high-level clue. So that's what I tried to do here. So if we would go to the first slide, and we go to the next slide. All right, so what do we really want to know? Is this company going to give away my data, right? Because it is true that many, many privacy policies say, I don't share your personal information, right? Is this a company that is at least making that basic promise? Or is this a company that actually sells, makes public, shares that? That is something that you will see in some policies and you'll see not. Okay. And if so, is there some choice? Is there going to be something I can flick on or off here to say, no, don't sell mine? Okay, that's a reasonable thing to look for. But then there's this whole section about non-personal information, which again, non-lawyers are like, what? That means nothing, right? Well, it doesn't mean nothing. Non-personal information is hopefully what we can demystify a little bit. And why am I giving you all these choices if it's like non-personal and it doesn't really matter? So quick, where's the personal information thing in the policy? Does it say they share it or not? Boom, right? Scan for that. Number 2, is there something about non-personal? Let's drill down about that. And then are they going to share it for ad targeting? So let's jump in, because those are probably 3 things that are in 80 or 90% of the policies. Switch. Okay. So boom, personal information. What is that? Your name, your email address, right? Things that we recognize are obviously personal. So that can be pretty easy to find. Go ahead. Next. After we've scanned our policy really quickly to see what it says about personal information, is there some sharing? Oh no, it's kind of complicated now. They're sharing it with all these different people. Some of them don't seem like they're of great concern. Others might be of concern. So with my consent, okay, so hopefully there's a choice somewhere that I can say yes or no to, so I'll look out for that. Within our company, I don't know, why are you even telling me that you're sharing it within your company? What do you keep it with like 1 person or something like that? So don't worry, keep moving over there. I mean, I guess, you can skim that. Authorized third-party agents or contractors. That seems to be in every single policy as well. All right, ignore it, I guess. Who doesn't have any kind of agent or vendor and so forth? What you do want to see is, are there third parties? And when they talk about third parties, are they talking about those agents or those vendors who are kind of under their control, hopefully? Or are they actually talking about selling it? Data brokers, third-party companies. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, third parties. Who are these third parties? Are they having a party with my data, or are they actually vendors or agents? Okay. So go ahead. Next slide. Go ahead. All right. So now we have this non-personal information, which again, very strange concept to, I think, the non-lawyers. So what are we usually talking about when we talk about sharing non-personal information? Typically, companies are talking about a cookie, an identifier, some way that they're going to somehow keep track of what you do on their site, or they're going to work with other parties and keep track of what you do elsewhere because there's something unique that you're sharing when you go to all those sites. Okay, so you might not like that, but it's pretty common that folks are going to be at least sharing something so they can do analytics, so they can do some third-party advertising. What else might they be doing with that non-personal information? You know, in the old days, everyone sat down and you watch TV, and that's where the audience is, right? And then we moved to the internet. And now sometimes we're on our phone, we're on our tablet, we're on our TV, we're on all sorts of devices. Really frustrating for the advertisers of the world who want to reach you as you. And now you're lots of yous. Even on your phone, you're more than one you because the app world and your browser world look different. And so that quote-unquote non-personal information ends up being used to link your identity non-personally, I'm putting quotes around it, as you are tracked across all those different devices so that the advertiser and the marketer can know you're the same you. Maybe just so they can account and report, maybe because they're going to make decisions about targeting. So they've linked your device. Data appending. So another way some companies make a little bit of extra money is they leverage the fact that, again, they have this unique identifier, this cookie, this ID, or maybe you've given them your name or your email. And other people who maybe only have that identifier and who want to add more information to what they have might let you borrow that email address. Maybe they'll hash it. Maybe they'll come up with a little sort of database in between that a third party holds so they can mash that data together so other people get more information about you. So that is typically very often happening behind the scenes. And so if you quickly scan the policy, is it personal information? Are they sharing it? Okay, there's this non-personal information. Are they doing one of these things? Are they doing this interest-based advertising? Are they linking my device to other devices? Cross-device tracking, folks will say. The FTC has recently reminded folks that they better tell you if they're doing that. Lots of folks may not have clearly spelled that out. And are they helping other people append data? Go ahead, next slide. Go ahead. So you heard me say non-personal, 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 and then you've heard me talk about linking things together across all these sites. So maybe that word doesn't mean what you think it means. And increasingly, that's the case. The European regulators have been very clear that if you use data like that, you're probably doing what is, in their view, personal information because of the way it lets an individual be singled out because of the way other data has been linked to it. And even the FTC last week made it pretty clear that in most cases, even if you're sort of hashing that email and lending it so as to be able to pin other data around, they think in most cases this is something that is actually personal. So we'll see if companies get a little bit more careful, but right now, when you skim through the policy, those are some key things to look for. Quick, next slides, let's go. Can I opt out? Typically, companies often are sharing data about you non-personally so that ads you see elsewhere are targeted. Can you opt out? Typically, you can. Do be aware that when you opt out, of course, you're going to still get ads. You may still get ads that are targeted based on things you purchase elsewhere that have been pinned to your data. So there's still a lot of targeting going on. You still may be getting your device linked to other devices. But what you won't get, according to at least the major advertising trade groups, is ads that are tailored based on the different websites you've been to. So you can make that choice. Now, how do you know if that happens? Go ahead, next slide. How do you know if that's actually happening or not? What's the quick tip? The quick tip is that triangle eye icon. I'm sure the folks in this room said, I know, the DAA icon. But for those of you out there watching live, if you see that triangle eye on an ad, this is an ad that maybe was selected for you based on your web surfing. And magically, if you can click on the corner of the ad, it will not open up and sell you things. It will bring you to a page that may give you more information about why you were on that list, and perhaps, next slide, even an opportunity to opt out. This is that central DAA or NAI page where you can see all the third-party ad networks that live behind there. Go to the next slide. We all spend lots of time, of course, on Facebook and on Google. If you look at a Facebook ad, you can see the little pull down, why am I seeing this? And there's the reason some company particularly wants to reach people like you, and you can get a little bit of a look behind the scenes. If you click in, I like scotch, you click in, you'll see all the different kinds of scotch I like. Let's take a look at what Google does on the next slide. If I click on the Google About Ads, Google typically as well has all the many, many categories that sit behind there. And if you're a consumer and you look at that, the statistics seem to show that when people go there, they look at it and they're annoyed when it's not right. You would think some of us would, oh my God, how do they know that about me? But what's interesting, the data seems to show that when people go there, they don't say, oh, clear all that out. They're like, well, why does it think I'm male or female? Next slide, and I think that is the end. So I go to a website, there's no ads. Does that mean it's not sharing data about me? Yes, it is. Look for the ad choices or about ads at the bottom. There's the Washington Post. If I click on it, they would tell me that they are sharing with third-party ad networks the fact that I have visited this particular page. Anyway, I don't know if that's 10 seconds, but quick breakdown of privacy policies for hopefully you, the average consumer. Thank you.